Hi, and welcome to Zoom for Community Educators. My name is Kelly, and I'm an Alzheimer's Association employee in Central Colorado. And I am here today to talk to you about how we can use Zoom in the best way to deliver our programs and services for our constituents. So I'm going to talk about our basic features in Zoom. We're going to go over very briefly joining a Zoom meeting. We're going to talk about changing your video view, so how you see the videos of everyone that has their camera on in the Zoom meeting, changing our audio settings and our video settings, interacting with our participants listing, interacting with our chat features, and talking about our host key, which is how a community educator like yourself can gain moderator features that are available in the Zoom meeting. So first off, I'm going to discuss joining a Zoom meeting. When you join a Zoom meeting, you're going to get an email from us that has a link for that meeting. When you click the link, if you have not already used Zoom in the past, you're going to be prompted to download and install Zoom. And you'll see on this screen an example of what a Zoom meeting invitation looks like, and then an example of what it's going to look like when you click that link, not having used Zoom before. It's going to prompt you to use the Zoom launcher and open that up and start that file to run. Once you've got the Zoom installed, we recommend that you return to the email where you received the Zoom invitation link and click that, and you'll be prompted to open Zoom meetings if you have not already installed the Zoom client. If you have installed the Zoom client, you can also click on Launch Meeting. And if this is your first time using Zoom, you will be prompted to enter your name, and if you have a camera on your device or computer, you'll see a preview for that camera and an option to join with or without video. We recommend that you join with video. And then you will also find that there are two ways to join a Zoom meeting. So we recommend that you use that Zoom meeting link that is found in the invitation email, but you can also join the meeting by going to www.zoom.us, and this is the point where you'll be prompted to enter the meeting ID and passcode that's included in the email. So if you ever have a question, if you see the invitation where it gives you that meeting ID and passcode, this is the time that it's applied. If you go in through the link, the meeting ID and passcode are embedded in the link, so you don't have to type in anything. Once you get into Zoom, it's important to know how you can change how you experience the video feeds that are coming into the Zoom meeting, so the other participants. If you are on an iPad, you'll find the Change Meeting View option on the left-hand side of the video screen. It looks like a little grid box. If you click on that, it'll change it to either gallery view or speaker view. Gallery view means you get all of the participants in smaller boxes of video feed, and speaker view gives you kind of a film strip appearance above them, and the person that's talking will be highlighted. If you are on a PC, that video view option is on the top right of your screen. And if you're using a smartphone, you can swipe left to change how you view the video feeds. This is a short video now that discusses the audio controls in Zoom, and it also demonstrates where on a PC or laptop you will find those audio controls and what they look like. I'm going to show you the audio controls in Zoom, and this is how we hear the meeting and how the meeting hears us. So the major thing to know is how to mute and unmute ourselves, and all of our audio controls are going to be found in this little icon down at the bottom left of our screen, and we can click on that and we are muted. Unclick it and our sound comes back. That means people can hear us again. And our other audio controls are found within this button. There's a little up arrow next to it. If you click that, you're going to get this little pop-up. And this pop-up is going to tell you where your sound is coming from and where it's going to. As a moderator, it's a great idea to run a test prior to our meetings. So if you're a community educator, it's a great idea to log on and do the test speaker and microphone option that's available in Zoom. So if we look at this pane and we click on that, it'll play a tone for us. And it will also allow us to speak and hear what our sounds like to the meeting. Those are major functions. You can control your audio settings. You can control where your sound is coming from. So you can check and make sure that it's coming from the right microphone. Check and make sure that it's playing to the right speakers or headset. That's going to vary based on your personal computer system. So we can't really help you too much with that, but that's a good place to look if you're having trouble with that. All right, and moving on. This is an image of where the different audio controls are found based on what kind of device you have. You will find on an iPad, they're on the top right of your screen. Again, the microphone icon. As we discussed in the video, on the bottom left of a PC or laptop screen. And if you are using Zoom on a smartphone, you'll find those audio controls on the bottom left of the screen. This video will demonstrate where to find your video controls and how to use them. And we're just going to go ahead and play this as it demonstrates what that looks like on a laptop or PC. So now I'm going to show you your video controls. Real quick and easy, just a very short little walkthrough. Just two major things. The first is that we can choose to mute our video and stop our video feed. You'll find the video controls in the bottom left of your screen. Looks like a little camcorder. Click it once and it will stop your video. It'll display your name that you've got in the meeting, and there will be a little red line through the icon. Click it again to start your video again. And then I'm going to show you how to set a virtual background. You'll see my nice Alzheimer's Association branded logo paperback here. You can do that by clicking the up arrow next to the video icon. You'll get a pop-up and you can select Choose Virtual Background. If you don't already have a virtual background set, there is an area here where you can click this and it'll say Add Image or Video. Select Add Image and it'll prompt you to add an image that's already saved on your computer. So you'll have to have your image already picked out and saved on your computer, and you'll be able to add that to your virtual background. All right, and these are what the video controls look like again on different kinds of devices. So on the iPad, again, it's going to be in the top right of the screen, the icon that kind of looks like a video recorder. And then on your PC, of course, as we discussed in the video, on the bottom left. And on your smartphone, you will find that in the Zoom application on the bottom left of your screen. All right, and this video is going to show you the controls for your participants and your chat. So now we're going to show you the participants and chat features that are found in Zoom. The participants icon is found at the bottom of your screen, and if you click on it, it will give you this list, and if there's other people in the meeting, it'll show them listed here. It also shows whether their audio or video is muted or not. So you'll see little red lines through those two icons if that's the case. And it has a useful feature for community educators. You have the option to rename people. And this is really helpful if you wanted to say, if somebody is just dialed in on the phone, you can change their name here to reflect their actual name instead of just a phone number. It makes it much easier to keep track of people. And then the other communication tool in Zoom is the chat. This little icon down here at the bottom of your screen, a little bubble, that will flash if there are new communications in the chat. And if you click it, you'll get a chat window under the participants window. You will also notice that you can select who you are sending a chat to. As you can see, this is to everyone. There's no one else in this meeting with me. Were there other participants? I could click on that down arrow and it would give me an option of their names, and I could send a chat to just one person, or they could send a chat to just me. All right, so that discussed our participants and chat. That is how we interact with people besides just speaking through video in Zoom. If you are on an iPad, you will find your participants icon again on the top right of your screen, and you will find the chat feature in the three dots labeled More. As we discussed in the video, you will find the participants and chat icons at the bottom center of your PC or laptop screen. And on a smartphone, you will find them on the bottom right, the participants icon, and the chat feature is found in the little three dots that are labeled More. This is just a quick visual representation of what you will see when you select either of those two icons. It'll give you a window for participants and a window for chat. And now we're going to talk about the host key function, which is useful to community educators as they may need to have some moderating abilities within the Zoom meeting. Okay, so this is how you claim the host key in a Zoom meeting that you are not the host of. You start by going to the participants icon at the bottom of your screen. If you click on that, you're going to get this kind of white bar here. You'll see the list of people that are in the meeting with yourself at the top usually. And if you go down to the bottom of the screen there, you'll see a few options. You're going to see invite, you're going to see mute me, and you're going to see these three little dots. Now the little dots, that is where you find your host key. So you'll get the option to raise hand, you'll get the option to claim host. Click on claim host and type in the 6-digit key given to you by your staff partner. And you are now the host of the meeting, and that means that you have some administrative controls over the meeting. You can mute other users, turn off their video, even ask them to leave the meeting if you need to. You can also rename them. You'll see the option there. So this is helpful if somebody has maybe just a phone number because they've dialed in. And those are some of the functions that you'll find once you have claimed your host. It's important to note that you will only be able to claim host if there are no other hosts in the meeting. So if a staff partner has logged into the account and they're the host of the meeting, the option to claim host won't even be available. You won't even see it in the screen. All right, and that is a discussion of how we use the host key. You'll see here this slide just has a visual representation of what you will see when you go to click on participants and where you'll find the host key function. Okay, this video is going to show you how to share your screen in a Zoom meeting. About sharing a presentation in Zoom. And we're going to do that by demonstrating how we would share our healthy living presentation. So what I am going to do is I like to make sure that I have my presentation, say on my computer desktop or somewhere that's very easy to find. I can open that presentation. And if you have Zoom running and you've opened your presentation, you'll notice that you get yourself in this little kind of window up at the top, and you can go back to Zoom. So now you have your presentation running in the background to select. If you ever get lost and you can't find Zoom or you can't find your presentation, if you look down on the bottom of your screen, you should see some menu icons. The little Zoom icon and the PowerPoint icon, and that'll tell you where to find those things. If you Zoom disappears off your screen, your PowerPoint disappears off your screen, look down at the bottom there to get an idea of where those things went. So once you have your presentation open, we have our green share screen button. You can select that, and you'll see some options for what you want to share. The important thing to remember when you're sharing one of these presentations is you want to make sure that you have Share Computer Sound selected. What this does is it makes sure that the embedded videos in our Alzheimer's Association presentations can be heard by people in the presentation. So now I will select the slide that the window that I want, which is where my presentation is, and I will click Share. And this is what you're going to see. So you'll see at the top, you are sharing your screen and it gives you an option to stop sharing. And then you'll also see your presentation. And you can click through it to advance it, just like you would if you were sharing it on a regular computer or just sharing it on a computer that was being projected. All right, and then when the presentation's over, you can hit stop sharing, and that's going to bring you right back into the Zoom presentation. All right, and here is a slide, just a still of where you find the important parts of sharing your screen, the selections that you have for where you're going to share, and the option to share computer sound is so important to make sure that people can hear those videos within the presentations. Okay, so those are the basic mechanics of Zoom that you're going to use as a community educator. I just want to talk a little bit about some best practices. This is really going to help you feel comfortable and confident with your presentation that you're either giving or helping to share the technical part of with the presentation. So before the meeting, it's really good practices to log on at least 15 minutes before the meeting is supposed to begin in order to start on time. This is the time when you want to test your microphone, your speakers, and your webcam. If you are sharing the presentation, you want to make sure you have your presentation ready and open and easy to access. Go ahead and test that screen sharing, including the presentation videos, to make sure that the audio is coming through. And you want to communicate with your co-presenter or staff partner for the presentation flow, such as when you want to advance the slides or when you're going to take questions. During the meeting, just for Zoom best practices, you want to make sure you have adequate lighting around you. You want to check your camera angle and make sure that your camera is either at or slightly above eye level. And you want to try to minimize your environmental distractions, things like family members or other people that may be in the home, pets, or unexpected distractions that may come up. And of course, most of all, we want to say thank you to all of our community educators for taking the time to be an educator to begin with, and for taking the time to learn to be an educator in this new virtual environment. You are doing wonderfully, you are here, and you are trying, and we appreciate you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your staff partner, and we'll make sure we get those answered for you. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.